Advent is an invitation to join the saving works of God in our world. Advent is one of those strange seasons, for they often say to us that Advent has two faces. One face that looks back to the original story of Christmas as it is contained in our scriptures. So part of Advent is re-looking and reliving the story of Jesus being born at Bethlehem and coming into our world. At the same time, there's another face of Advent. There is the face of looking forward to the second coming of Jesus. The time when Jesus will return according to his promises to you and I. And in actual fact, we find ourselves right in the middle of these two events, as if they were bookends to the story of Jesus. Jesus came and was born as a baby and died on the cross. That is one bookend. And the other bookend is that Jesus will return according to his promises. And we live somewhere in between that. Friends, the scriptures as we have it, and more especially the Gospels that we have contained in our Bibles, are not just a story about God's activity in the world. These scriptures and these gospel accounts are written not just as something to be read and to have a nice, warm, fuzzy feeling as we read them about this good man Jesus who lived long ago, but it is an invitation for us to enter into the story ourselves. It's an invitation for us to step inside and to become part of the narrative of God's redeeming and saving work in Jesus Christ. And so this morning, I want to say that last week we had the yearning, the burning desire that we needed to search and find in ourselves. And this morning we have an invitation to that yearning that we've discovered in ourselves, an invitation to come and to take our places in this long story. Over 2,000 years it is being told and retold and told again in our time and in our world. Advent is an invitation to join the saving works of God in our world. I came across this conversation that a chap called Matthew Meyer Bolton was having on one of his podcasts, and he said that he was watching a concert on TV, and before the concert began, one of the musicians got up and addressed the audience. This is what she said: "We are not the creators of the music. We are not Beethoven, Mozart, Clara Schumann, or Hildegard Bingen. Rather, we are co-creators of the music. By playing it, we bring it to life for listeners today. It's a helpful analogy, for without the musicians to play it, the music just sits there lifeless on a piece of paper. The musical score, little dots and lines of notation. But those dots and lines are instructions. They are scripts for the musicians, the co-creators, for them to play the music. Well, that's the same for us. If we simply read the narrative, if we're simply only the audience in the story, that's all it is. A nice story. Lines, words typed onto a page in this beautiful books called Bibles. But Advent is the invitation for us to become co-creators with God, to become ones who join the work of God in our world. An invitation to be part of the grand old story that has managed to survive all of these years. Friends, in Advent, we are being invited to be part of the continuation of the Lord's saving grace here and now. To be co-creators of sharing the joy, the peace, and the hope, and eventually the love of Jesus Christ. You can choose whether you just want to read the story and leave it there, or whether you want to step into the story and be part of something greater and bigger than ourselves. For Advent is an invitation. May God bless us, not only in hearing, but in doing the word of Jesus. Amen.